Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
This is March in Georgia. It's not supposed to be cold. We should not have to break out fur coats or long sleeves or boots again.
Right?
In Georgia, March is supposed to be sandal weather.
Tomorrow is the first day of spring officially.
Well, I hope it gets warm because I came here to be warm.
I know, exactly.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's the first day of spring?
Yes, it is.
Is that the 22nd?
Well,
First.
No, I watched the Weather Channel this morning. That's
There
what
you
they
go.
said.
welcome to the...
Wait, today's the
Spring in
19th, so
Georgia.
it's the 20th.
Yeah.
That's correct.
No, their phones say it's after 11.
No, it's 11:00. Oh, sorry.
Who likes to argue with
I
people?
think it was 11 minus 3.
Good morning.
All right, so we're going to get started here. Kat's going to lead us in some songs. Reverend Warren's over with the boys this morning for a little bit, and then he's going to be back over here to do the
You're so
call.
furry.
All right, he's going to give us the talk.
That's
He's
right.
going to set us down and give us the talk.
You know what, though? That might be a good idea for you.
What? Is it?
To get the talk.
Oh. So, James, that's my mother, Marion, who you were just talking to. Oh, you
All
going
right,
by
and-
Nelson now, or James?
Nelson.
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 Okay, so that's my mom, Marion.
live.
Yeah, here we go. Everybody, that's Kat's mom over there.
Well, everybody knows it.
When the walls come tumbling down, I choose joy. I choose joy. When the world stops spinning round, I choose joy. I choose joy. When my heart is hard to move, when my music's lost the groove, when I have too much to prove, I choose joy. I choose joy. When hate is all I see, I choose joy. I choose joy. When fear won't let me be, I choose joy. I choose joy. When betrayal and lies hide the light from my eyes, I look up to the sky and I choose joy. I choose joy. Joy, 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 joy. I choose joy. Joy, 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 joy. I choose joy. This moment right here, I choose joy. I choose joy. For the ones that I hold dear, I choose joy. I choose joy. To be who I must be, for the light to shine in me, for everybody to be free. I choose joy. I choose joy. Joy, 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 joy. I choose joy. Joy, 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 joy. I choose joy. must be for the light to shine in me, for everybody to be free. I choose joy, I choose joy, and everybody will be free when I choose joy. I choose joy.
Yay! Clap! Ooh, we got some joy going on here this morning, don't we?
Yeah.
Feels good. Yeah.
Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine.
Here we go now.
Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. I'm not holding it in anymore. I'm gonna shout it out loud. I understand now what I'm here for, and what this life is about. It's about love, it's about laughter, it's about comfort and smiles. It's about love, it's about kindness, it's about hearts open wide. It's about love, it's about passion, it's about taking a chance. It's about love, it's about service, it's about lending a hand, about lending a hand. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine.
was good. Yeah, feels good, doesn't it? Hi, Becky.
Yes.
Welcome home, everybody.
Waiting for them to sit down and I didn't see them.
You were too busy into that song.
I know, right?
All right,
You were
so
too busy into the song.
let's take that breath. Hi, Mickey. Take a breath and let's just know that we have arrived at the right place at the right time, bringing forth that divine energy that we are, bringing forth that collective energy that we are, and lifting in consciousness all that we are. We are so grateful to be here today, to share in the love, to share in the friendship, to share in the light of God. We know that God is here in the midst of each and every one of us, bringing forth our highest good right here, right now. So together we say, thank you, God. Together, thank you, God. And so it is. Amen. And our statement of being, there is only one presence and one power in my life and in my universe, God the good, omnipotent. And our mission statement, Unity East of Atlanta Church is dedicated to teaching practical Christianity as taught by Jesus Christ. This ministry acknowledges the presence of God within through affirmation and prayer. Our statements of truth. I am a child of God. I am deserving of good in my life. I am accepting my good now. One right here. You guys all work the hips, girl.
Come on,
You gotta do it. You gotta do it.
There you go, Mickey. There you go. There we go.
Yeah.
There you go. 15 seconds. Can you believe that? There we go. Yay. Thank you, girls. My backup girls. We're still coming up with a name for the tractor, so if anybody's got a suggestion, we're going to decide. We're going to vote on it next week. Okay?
Yep.
Any other suggestions? Do you want to know what we have so far? Do you remember?
Kevin, I remember that.
Kevin. We have Big Bertha.
I
We
like
have
Big Bertha.
Wilbert. And we have Bubba. Wheel like a, huh?
Maybe Bertha.
I know, everybody's like a Big Bertha. Well, we'll vote on it next week and decide. Somebody's beeping.
Because it is big.
Is that BB?
Are you okay?
Oh,
Gonna be.
How about
Okay.
Big John?
Okay.
Big Bad John.
Okay.
Can't
I'll
be
put
a man.
that on the list,
It's
huh?
all- it can't be all men.
Dirty girl.
That's a good one. It's gonna get dirty, that's for sure.
I'm messing with you, dude.
Kind of like what I said.
Somebody said,
Like that,
somebody said dirty something.
Yeah,
What'd you say?
I said something like that last week. She didn't.
No,
write
but
it
she
down.
said something.
Sounded no different.
No, it was different. But we'll go with dirty girl. I'll put that one in. All right.
goodness.
Anyway, yeah. So he got stuck for a hot second the other day, but he's been working hard out there, moving stuff. And the guy came out to inspect the silt fence, and I think that went well. And oh my gosh, I got to tell you this. This is the exciting part. Thursday night, he went to a minister's, Rockdale County minister's dinner, and the Rockdale County, I don't know if it's the board, whatever he is, the CEO, whatever he is of Rockdale County. Anyway, he puts it on, and it was at Coaxum's, and he met this couple right away. When he came in, he started talking to some people, and he met this couple, and he's the minister of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. They're on Flat Shoals, just down here. Mm-hmm. And he said that he is affiliated with 5 churches in the area, and they will all come in and help us sheetrock and do all that for free.
Absolutely.
Isn't that cool?
Uh-huh.
And then the guy told Warren, I'll even bring the nails. But since we got metal, we gotta have to screw. So anyway, but I thought that was excellent.
Yeah.
Isn't that cool? So these blessings are coming.
Absolutely.
Anyway, yes, Dee Dee?
Screws are better
I
anyway.
noticed the sign is not up.
Well, the one side of the sign got hit on one of the mowing escapades before, and it fell. And then the other one, because the 2 weren't up there, it made that one not as stable. But they just got old and rotten, so Warren took them down, put them in the fire pile. But we're gonna make new ones. So, yeah. But the new sign out there won't be like that. I'm gonna make some new ones that will go on the building, but we're gonna use because I painted those signs. but we'll use that. It's like the top of the table. What is that called? PVC or something like that. Yeah, so that it doesn't rot. Because the other ones, we just used plywood.
Yeah.
And we painted them white, and then I painted the
Well,
logo on there, so they worked fine, for a long time. But that's a good sign, really, that they ended up going to the place where they rotted, because then that means new beginning.
That's
right.
Wait a minute, before you change that, I had to look it up, but I put in for Dirty Diana because they got a song to go with it. So we can do a video of Warren and
That's her name.
Dirty Diana.
Well, probably.
We don't know what she
I
does
thought it was
at home.
Diane. Oh,
How about
My
Beulah?
mother made sure.
Beulah?
Hey,
Oh my
we
God.
put Beulah on there too. Yeah, this is your last chance to add names, unless you're going to have a write-in next week.
So don't forget to put plus song next to mine.
Oh.
That matters.
I do have to, Becky's sitting there, I just have to say, Ava looks so beautiful in her dress for military ball. Her date should feel very lucky. She looked gorgeous. If you go on Facebook, you'll see pictures of her, but Ava that fills in the youth at the youth inn sometimes. I know she had fun, didn't she?
I don't know. I haven't talked to her yet today.
But her flowers were pretty too. Those were neat. Okay, anyway, onward. This Friday's bingo with a trivia twist. We're going to have lots of fun. It's got a St. Patrick's Day theme, so wear your green or Irish. Yes. Anyway, Bill's selling tickets. You can get tickets from him. If you have any gift cards to donate, Doris has taken those. And you can bring some on Friday if you want to. If you haven't donated any yet. Say that fast 10 times. Bring a snack to share, and you can bring your own adult beverage if you choose. All right. Guess what? Palm Sunday service is the first Sunday in April. So that's 2 weeks away, if you can believe that. Easter is 3 weeks away. We will have an Easter egg hunt here, and I'm not sure yet. I've got to talk to Ashley and see what she's going to do, but I don't know if we're going to have an inside one or outside. Probably depends on the weather. But if we have an outside one, we're going to wait till after service to do that, because I don't want kids running the gambit. But anybody at home that has grandkids, kids, whatever, bring them, nieces, nephews. We're going to have a great time. And we'll have a circle of life in here with the flowers, so it's a beautiful service.
Yep.
All right, it's coming fast and furious. Bill?
Time for Lions Club chicken barbecue. It's Wednesday, the 12th of April. Almost all day, 11 to 7.
So you can get it for lunch, or get it for dinner, or get it for both.
$12 for the meals. We have for half a chicken, slaw, chips, and bread, and I believe tea and water, of course. And they usually have desserts. You pay extra, you donate extra for. It's at the pavilion, and I have tickets here, $12, and the proceeds go to funding our vision programs like Camp for the Blind and Leader Dogs and other programs. So we hope you'll support us. Thank you.
It's always yummy.
It sure is.
Yes, it's always very good.
Yep.
The chili was good, I know.
Yeah, this is good too. Youth church last week, they did painting with oils. That's what this is. He had Miss Ashley's neck pillow that looks like a pig on his head, and he thought that was the funniest thing ever. These are their paint shirts they have on. We've tried to change them out when they're painting, but I've got I don't know how many shirts really.
Oh my goodness.
Getting paint on them before we change. But anyway, and they also made these bunnies, which was really cute. Anyway, and these are their other paintings they did of something about expressing patience with, I don't know, I forgot now. I need to have Miss Ashley write these things down for me. But anyway, they had a good time. They did good. All right. Prayer slips. Anybody else got any announcements or anything?
Chaplain.
Oh, yeah, chaplain. Dee Dee, you're the chaplain today. Yes. Yeah. So she'll be out there to pray one-on-one with you after the service. Please take advantage of that part of our ministry. We love our prayer chaplains. They do a great service for us.
Yes, they do. They do
Yeah.
a great job. Too.
Okay, now don't start collecting the prayer slips yet. Remember? Yeah, you can. But we're going to add some names on the prayer slips. We got Pecola. We want to pray for her and her family. Her son-in-law, Bryant, lost his dad this week, or last Sunday, actually. And so the other thing about that is, that's her daughter's husband, the daughter that she just lost. So their kids, Taylor is their daughter, Bryant and Kim's daughter, and then Brooke and Justin are the grandkids, so we want to pray for all of them. And then we're going to pray for Jim. He was not feeling that great this morning, but he's home, and he's doing fine, but he decided to stay home today because he's not sleeping good at night sometimes, so he woke up this morning kind of tired. But we just got to put lots of prayers his way because, he's going through some procedures right now that we want to just keep sending him lots of health and healthy energy and seeing him move through this with ease and grace. And for some reason, Reba came up in my mind this morning, so we're going to just pray for her for all kinds of good stuff. Prosperity, that popped in my mind. Anyway, who else has got a prayer request? Mickey?
Sandy and Shannon, that they find the right and perfect house.
That's right.
And in a hurry.
We're
No.
looking at one tomorrow.
We know that they are going to find the right and perfect house. They're just about at the limit of how many you got to go see before you find the right one.
We're looking at one tomorrow, but
Might be it.
yeah, it's 25 acres. The house isn't exactly what I want, but we could do something with it.
Where is it?
It's in Buckhead,
Oh yeah,
down 20.
Not
but that's
downtown.
almost to Oconee, isn't it? Isn't it kind of connected to there?
Well, it's near there. Yeah, there's a dock that people put in, I think, near there, but the way you can go down 53, because I first said no, it's too far, but I can come here on 20. 20's just 4 miles, and then I can go down 53. No, what's the road that you guys live off of, Lynn? Cat?
11,
No.
81,
50.
83.
83. Anyways, so it didn't take that much longer, so.
Okay, good.
Sorry, guys.
No, that's good. Yeah,
We'll see, yeah.
we'll see if it's the right one. You got one too, Sandy?
Yeah, for my sister-in-law, Sandra, she's in the hospital. Hopefully she'll get out today.
Well, we're gonna send her prayers filled with health and wholeness. Who else has got a prayer request? Oh, Dee Dee, I'm sorry.
I have one of gratitude.
Uh-huh.
My dad is doing very well,
Yeah.
Good.
and that I'm back.
That you get to be home again. How long had it been? 6 weeks?
Well, January, the beginning of January, I was there 3 weeks, almost a month. Came home 5 days and went back, and I just got back this past Sunday a week ago.
Wow. Well, I'm glad you're home again. Let's put Judith and Frank on there too.
I thought she was coming today. She
Yeah. That's
texted
what
me
I
this
did too,
morning.
Maria.
And Pat is coming back to Georgia.
Oh, she is?
Yes.
Yay.
She was not feeling well, and so she's needing a support system.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Pat Bab?
Had that.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. We missed her anyway.
I know.
Yeah, we've missed her. If you're watching, we've missed you. All of you at home, we've missed you. Come on back in.
Yes,
Come on.
please. Come
Yeah.
on down.
Anybody else?
Thank you.
No? Bill? No? We're good? Okay, now we can play the music and collect the prayer slips. Here we go. My mic's not on now. Well, my mic shouldn't be on
I
with it.
can't have both of them. You can't turn that down without turning you down.
How is that when the computer's a whole different thing? That's weird. They're two different buttons, aren't they? Should be. All right. You can just go ahead and turn me back up. There you go. I'll just do this. We'll just do that. All right. We take a moment to take that breath and know that God is in charge, that God has this. Each and every request on each and every prayer slip, and each and every name that has given this request, and each and every name on these slips already have answered prayer. When it manifests in our lives as the highest good, we know it and we can claim it. And we can let go right now and know it and claim it right here, right now. We don't have to wait for the result. We know that God only brings forth good, and in that good is answered prayer. It's wonderful, it's fabulous, and it's always good. Might not be exactly how we ordered it, but it will be for the highest good for all. So as we go forth today, we just lift up in consciousness each and every person and release it to God. Just release it and let it go. And we say together, thank you, God. Thank you, God. And so it is.
Amen.
I don't know who's reading the daily word today, but Dee Dee is.
Dee Dee's
Come
doing
on forth,
everything
Dee Dee.
today.
Yeah.
All right.
She gotta make up for lost time.
Hey, there you go.
The daily word.
When you start out,
That's what I was about to say.
you have to come back and pay for it.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Today, Sunday, March 19th, 2023. The word is comfort. I find comfort in expressions of love. Speaking the words, I love you, provides comfort for an aching heart and peace in times of uncertainty. Today, I open my heart to these loving expressions as a soothing balm for distress or grief. When I am concerned about another, love centers me in the truth that all is in divine order, no matter how circumstances appear. I enfold the people I care about in a sphere of love, encircling them in peace and protection. When I am troubled, I find comfort in others' loving words. I surround myself with those who offer solace in my time of need. I find encouragement in their kindness and compassion. As we share ourselves in kind and loving ways, we hearten spirits and bolster faith, giving comfort to ourselves and others. From Thessalonians,
Good job.
2:17, comfort your hearts and strengthen them in every good work and word.
Thank you. You can just lay it there. So as we prepare for meditation, we sing. So we know the presence of the Lord is in this place. And the power for the month of March is strength. And that idea of strength comes in many forms, doesn't it? We have physical strength, we have mental strength, we have spiritual strength. And all of them are wrapped up and connected together. Because anytime we are lacking physical strength, we know that we can turn to spiritual strength and pray about it and see us in a physical sense strengthening our bodies, seeing us being able to do what we need to do in that moment. And we also can turn to spiritual strength when we need to solve a problem or we have something heavy on our minds. Because we know that the strength of God is within us, longing to come forth, desiring to come forth in that pure, perfect way that is God expressing. So if it's opening a jar or deciding which bill to pay, all those things can fall into the idea of strength when we just take that moment to affirm that I am strength, that God gives me all the strength I need to make it through whatever it is that I am trying to get through today. And it also gives us the strength to be able to let go. Let go of what is not ours to meddle with. Let go of all that we need to let go of in order to enjoy the moment, enjoy the day. And it gives us that power within that is activated when we affirm that I am strength. So as we take a time in the silence and the quiet, I invite you just to affirm silently within yourself, I am strength. And allow that to be your mantra in the silence. So I invite you to take another breath. And together affirm with me, I am strength. Together, I am strength. And we know this, and we claim this, and we manifest it throughout our life. And so it is. Amen.
Amen.
Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Be careful what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes a prayer.
Hey everybody.
Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning. I'm Francie still. I just changed my outfit.
You look good.
Anyway, thank you. Uh-oh. I'm going to pull this out because I forgot. All right. That's pretty good.
You
All
got
right.
your glasses.
Oh, are they in the way? Sorry.
Don't know.
A woman lived next door to a minister, and she had noticed something over a bit of time because she went to the church that he was pastored at, and she noticed that he was very to himself, didn't go out much, very much stay at home-ish and not talk to other people during the week. Yet on Sunday, he was a firestorm, boy. He just talked to everybody and was outgoing and just really rose the consciousness of the group that he had. And she was so curious about this over time, and she finally asked him after church one day. She said, "Pastor, I hate to ask you this, but you know what? I'm your neighbor. You know that, and every time I see you at home, you know, you just are so introverted. And then when you come here, you're just so full of life and everything. It's just, well, I'd like to know what the deal is." And he said, "Oh, don't worry about that. That's just my alter ego." Okay. All right. Well, there's been a few weeks that haven't been very good here lately, but I really like that one. So I should tell that one to I guess, fellow ministers. I don't know. Anyway, I like it. So it's Lent still. What's that? What did I hear?
It was cute.
Thank you.
I want to hear the one you wouldn't tell us.
I'm not going to tell that one. I got to quit. I've got to quit even thinking about those guys. They bomb too. So anyway, if you don't have the book, 40 Days of Letting Go, the Lent book this week, this one here, then Francie probably already said, but go ahead and get one. There should be some back there. To finish off the Lent, you can go back and read what you haven't had already. So the Lenten season, though, and Lent is obviously about letting go. So I wanted to touch on those things with you today. There's a lot of things that we have in our life that we can let go. I hope that we are getting good practice during the Lenten season, if not other times of the year, to do that, because we need to let go of a lot of things usually in our human consciousness that we've learned over the years that aren't actually true.
That's true.
And a lot of them may touch you today, may not, I don't know, but I wanted to tell, before I forget, get into this too deep, is I wanted to tell about, how I like to look at studies and everything, and there was a study recently about how come there's a bunch of kids, mainly teens, but kids in general, having quite a bit more mental issues. And when I say mental issues, I'm not talking about their psychosis and things like that. I'm talking about the environment that they're raised in that's just a lot different than when you and I were raised. And so they were saying they were pretty succinct on this study, and I was really happy for it, because usually some studies you don't have where's the cause and all that, but they were saying it started really around the time that the internet came out, and so everybody started getting into the internet, and there was stuff that was on there that. And I told you that one story about that one girl that ended up committing suicide because of the shaming that they did on the internet for her. But there have been a lot of things. So the study said that it started increasing, seeing a lot of kids have mental issues. And like I said, we're not talking about a mental issue that can't be cured. We're talking about just, in my opinion, a lot of confidence issues. And so this is another reason that we need to come to, especially have our kids come to Unity Church. Like this morning, I was helping them learn about their value, as far as their personal value, and it was under the guise of prosperity. And as adults, we teach it a little bit different, but understanding your own value. And they said in this study that it's really increased since COVID happened, when shutdowns happened. And if you just look at it, and whether you have kids or not, but if you just look at it, you can just see how that just lines into what would happen in common sense if you think about it. And if you get into a bunch of that stuff, you can see even in adults it's affected. When we start separating ourselves from one another, like we don't go to church, especially if we don't go to church, but a lot of things, if we start separating ourselves, start wearing our mask all the time, and I know there are legitimate reasons, because I talked to an actual doctor this last Thursday night. She's actually the interim CEO of Rockdale Hospital right now, but she's going to be the full-time CEO, but she's a surgeon. And we were talking about the mask and stuff, and she said, well, nowadays, the only people that really should be wearing masks are people that are susceptible still to things. And so, but if we're wearing them because we're scared of something and we have a healthy body, then we got to get rid of that scaredness. Okay, we got to quit being scared of whatever we're worrying about out there, whether it's COVID or whatever we're worrying about. So the Lenten season is a part of letting go, and that's why I'm is a study of letting go. That's why I'm wanting to talk about it today. The Lent season, as I've told you before, is a church. I'm thinking of the word concocted. It doesn't sound that good, but it's, I guess, appropriate. Concocted idea to get prepared for Easter. But Lent is also in the Bible, so it's not like it didn't happen in the Bible, but the teachings of Lent are from the Bible. So let's find out what we need to let go of. Releasing, letting go is something that we have to do on the inside. It's not on the outside. And, a lot of things, and just like the prosperity lesson this morning for the kids, a lot of things that we experience on the outside, we let influence way too much on our inside. And then we start thinking those thoughts are true about ourselves, and we allow that to be our outside. And when we think about those thoughts, we allow that to be our outside truth. But if we start thinking about what our relationship with God and God being unlimited, and if we have a relationship with an unlimitedness, and we can express that, and we think that we can express that, then that will be our life. We will be unlimited. But when we go to thinking about the outside controls our inside, then we're getting into oppositeville of what it is really true. And so then we are taking part in the life, always the life that we live, whatever it is outside. Now, does that mean that every person that expresses or experiences good in their life, however that be, is a good person? I'm not saying that. Most of them probably are. If they're doing that, they're learning how to understand that what they bring into their life as far as thoughts, what they allow to come into their life from the outside, if it's good, if it's in alignment with God, then they're going to express it more and have it more in their life. Francie really enjoyed a movie that we saw the other day at home. It was one of the secret movies, It's the second one, I think. But anyway, it was about I think, Lynn and Kat, I think we were talking about in class this last week about showing that movie Dragonfly. And so I think we're going to do that. Well, I know we're going to do that, but so if you want to come show it, we'll see how many people attend it. But we're going to show a couple of movies here that are helpful in understanding what we're talking about on Sundays, and it's just a good way to see it too in real life instead of just on this. And those two stories I'm telling you about, both the secret one, it's the secret, and then it has something past it, but I don't remember the name of it right now. And then Dragonfly are both actually, believe it or not, true stories. And you would think after you get done with it, you think, yeah, but they're true stories. Anyway, letting go. So if we're letting go of something, what are we doing? Something is inside of us already that we need to release, right? Letting go, release, same thing in this lesson. Sometimes things happen that trigger a past feeling. Michael Irvin is what I'm going to talk about here as an example. I don't know how many people know Michael Irvin. Probably not too many. Oh, good. One person does. Two people do.
Long as he's a Dallas Cowboy.
Yeah, he was a Dallas Cowboy.
Okay. Then I know
him. He was this football player that he's long been since retired. I think he retired, early 2000s. He's been retired quite a while. He's been with the NFL broadcasting for a while. But anyway, he's a very good wide receiver. Very, very prosperous in his trade, okay? And he's retired and he stayed in the trade. Well, during the Super Bowl week, he was staying at a Marriott, if I remember right. And he was going to broadcast the show like he has been doing. And then all of a sudden he wasn't there. He wasn't going to broadcast it. Well, everybody thought, well, what's going on? Just probably sick or something, whatever happened, came down with the flu or something. But anyway, come to find out, he was, NFL told him he could not go. NFL Network told him he could not go because he was accused of sexually harassing somebody at the Marriott. And so he came out a week or so later after that and said, and he was almost in tears saying, well, I don't understand what's going on here. I don't remember doing anything wrong or all this. And just to let you know, Michael Irvin is a black male. So, and the female was a white woman. And so, he personally, I can usually, not always, but usually I can look at a person and see when they're talking about something, whether they're telling the truth or not. And not always, I'll admit, not always. But, I thought, well, man, the way he's coming across, I've seen him, he's a really exuberant person. He gives a lot of energy when he's talking. And I could see him, and I thought, what's going on here? Because a football player, being sexually harassing somebody really isn't news. I mean, that happens, regrettably. But anyway, when he was talking and almost crying about this, I thought, that guy, I know this guy, and I hope my liking him doesn't cloud my idea. It looks like he's telling the truth here. I don't know. Now, you don't like to say, that someone's not telling the truth. So that's what we're getting to here. So last week, or a couple of weeks ago, his lawyers decided to sue Marriott because it did cost him some money, not being there, and NFL Network ended up firing him, I think, or they haven't let him speak since. So anyway, he has sued Marriott for a lot of money. And so the video, though, came out, because, Marriott Hotel has, and it was in the lobby that this happened. So the video came out, and I watched it, and the female was a white woman. I don't know if I said that a minute ago or not. Anyway, it doesn't really make a difference, but it does in this sense. Is when you saw the video, I could see both sides, both viewpoints. I don't think personally he did something that would warrant that, but I could see how she could perceive that. Do you follow me? There's two different sides when you talk to somebody. And when Michael Irvin came out and talked about it after he saw the video, his past thoughts of racism came into his thoughts. And he thought, well, of course, when you say that, but what? It could have been sexism, could have been anything. But right, it could have been anything, but it was him thinking that. And her, she hasn't said anything, which I don't know that she ever will, unless it goes to court. I could see her, having the same reaction, as far as racism. She was scared for whatever reason because this guy, a black male that is of good size, he's not small, he's not heavy this way, but he's probably, 6'4", 6'5", at least, So we have these preconceived notions that can take an innocent situation and both sides pull from it something negative.
Right.
But it doesn't have nothing to do with that situation.
True.
It had to do with their past perceptions, their past understandings. And so, I don't want to, I'm not judging anything on this, and I'll let them work it out, of course. But, when we have our something come up, when we're living life and something comes up in us on a situation, we have to recognize where that's coming from. It's important for us to recognize where that's coming from. And 99% of the time, it's coming from me, whatever those feelings are. I can't have feelings for somebody else anyway. But whatever that reaction is coming from, it's from me. Did I hit something?
Yeah, you're hitting your microphone.
Sorry. So if it's coming from me, then I can control what those reactions are, right?
Right.
And so I have to know if it's coming from me, why is it coming from me? Is it coming from the situation that just happened, or is it coming from something in my past? Now, like I say, most of the time it's going to be something from your past. But sometimes it isn't. Let's be clear. Sometimes it isn't. We still have racism in the country both ways, whatever ways. We do. And for whatever, hopefully nobody takes this wrong, but whatever anybody does in this lifetime right now, regrettably, it's not going to cure racism. There are some people that are brought up to be racist. And to cure them, to resolve that issue, how's it going to be resolved? It's not going to be resolved by me saying you're racist. That's not going to resolve it. What's that going to do? That's going to make the person, oh yeah? Okay? That's going to back them up into a corner. Teaching people, I'd say going to church would be a great way. Teaching people that we're all from the same spiritual oneness would be the only way, because they're going to have to learn it for themselves. people are not going to change their ideas, their feelings about something or someone or some group of people without understanding it from themselves. They're not going to do it. How many people have been taught, well, let me go to that slide. History, however we learned it, in a book or through a personal experience, can be a good thing if we allow it to be. How many people have known a professor in college, usually it happens, but or anywhere, in high school, or anywhere, that has taught you something that you found out really wasn't the truth? In real life, you know. I don't know how many people have seen, I've brought it up for, oh gosh, now I forget the name. Rodney Dangerfield was in a movie, It was called Back to School. I think it was called Back to School. And he went back to school in college, and he had been a successful contractor for a lot of years, and went to this business class, and the professor was up there teaching how business works, all this, and he kind of snickered because it wasn't working like that. Right. And so the professor pointed him out and said, "Do you have something to say?" And he said, "Yeah, that's not how it works. You don't just pay for your permit. You have to grease the subcontractor. You have to grease the city employee, all this stuff, you know." And he's just telling him the way it is, not the way the book says it is.
Right.
Okay? And so there's a difference sometimes in what we're taught. Even our parents, they can teach us some things that we maybe find out is not true. And so what are we going to do with that information, though? What are we going to do with that information? Are we going to, because you know that you know somebody that has said, "My darn parents," you know, they get mad at their parents. Wait a second, come on now. Used to be one way sometimes, and now it's different. That's the next one. Did our parents make mistakes? Yeah, they did. And I brought up Colin Kaepernick because I don't know if you know him or not, but he was
San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah, he was a quarterback that he was actually a good quarterback, but he came to most fame by starting the kneeling on the sidelines through the national anthem. And now, I guess since all that's passed, he wants to do something different. I don't know, but he's written a book. He was an adopted son, and he's written a book, and he kind of, I hope that it's all okay, but he says it this way, and I don't know if he says it this way in the book, but he says it this way. He said it this way on an interview. He said, "I love my parents, but they did a lot of racist things," which could or could not be true. I don't know, because the parents I don't know if I don't know what his racial background is. I know he has some African American in him, but I don't know if he's full or not. But anyway, whatever, it doesn't make a difference. But his parents were full white. There's no doubt about that. So any of us could probably say, if you look at it and if you want to look at it, but some hopefully all of you, it'd be hard to look back and say, but all of us could say our parents made mistakes, right? Sure. And usually, it's kind of weird, but this has been my experience, okay? Usually, if your parents are still here, it's easier to remember those mistakes than if they've gone, if they've already left. So, all of us can say our parents have made mistakes. But what are we going to do? Are we going to focus on those mistakes or on what they blessed us with? I mean, that's still our choice, right? Correct. So if we've got that choice, and during this Lenten season, what good is it for you in your life today when you're blaming your parents for something? What good is that doing you? It's not doing you any good. In fact, I would say it's doing you some harm. Because you are holding a space in there for whatever it is, parents or anybody, anything, that you're holding a space in your thoughts about negative stuff. So if somebody did bad to me, I'm going to have to do something bad to somebody else. I mean, you may not be thinking that directly, but that's what you're thinking when you allow those negative thoughts to stay in your mind. We have to not only replace them, but take them out. And the only way you do that is by figuring out something else in that place. You have to genuinely release it, but you have to fill that empty void with something else. There's a lot of ways to do that. I don't know if I'm going to have time to get to it today. Have we made mistakes? Yeah. And one of them, and I need to release myself too from them, but one of them I made in front of y'all when we used to be at that other place down in the Old Town. I don't know if y'all were, everybody was there, but I know some of you were. When we had my ex-boss, the CEO of Unity, come to Unity of Rockdale at the time, and came to the church that day, you know, I welcomed her from here, and yet I said we didn't get along when I was working for her. Totally inappropriate. Really, it was totally inappropriate. And so, whatever, so what happened there? I had some old feelings from when I worked for her, which was only a few years before that, to, you know, that I hadn't released, right? We have to release those, or they can come up and bite us in the butt. They can. We have made mistakes, all of us, and it isn't a big deal. So what? You make a mistake, just release it and go forward. And if other people are holding you accountable or responsible for your mistakes, it's hurting them. Okay? Now, you know, releasing it doesn't mean like whatever step it is in AA. You don't have to go and what step is that? Go and apologize to everybody.
Make amends.
Yeah, what is that? That's all right. That's all right.
She hadn't done that yet.
Oh my God! Enough of that. She did.
Kidding.
Yeah, I know she is. She's kidding. So anyway, and I don't. It's all right. I don't remember what it is, but it isn't. What it is. The most important is releasing it from yourself. That's not the most. I mean, sometimes that is easier on an outward way to do that, and it's a good practice. And if you come into contact with somebody, if you feel like that, then do it. Do it. Let them know, well, hey, you know what? I probably shouldn't have done that. Nope. 90% of the time, they're going to say, what are you talking about?
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
So God created, now this is a misnomer. God created, Francie didn't like me writing this. God creates mistakes as a way to learn a better way. And so, how many times have I said, numerous times, God never makes mistakes. And so, this is kind of a play on words. And what I'm saying is, really, I should have probably written to make it easier, is God allows mistakes. So all of these drugs or cures up here, whatever you want to call these things that have been good for humanity, what is my button? Are quinine, smallpox, x-rays, allergies, insulin, pap smear, and penicillin. All of those, believe it or not, all of those came about through a mistake.
Right.
They were all the doctors or all the researchers that were looking for all of these were looking for something else when they found them. They just happened on them. And I tell you what, the main one, look at that, penicillin. That's the most important breakthrough in medicine that we've ever had. Penicillin. It just does so many things. But some people are allergic to it. Anyway, all that stuff though, isn't that amazing if you think about it? So the golden rule is the best way to look at letting go. If you're thinking about negative about somebody, think about that same thought if that was directed at you. Would you like to be thought of that way? Probably not.
Probably not.
So if you think about the golden rule, treat others as you'd like to be treated, essentially, then you can conduct yourself in a way knowing that if I don't want to be treated that way, and the other one, of course, the old version is what your mama's told you. Can't say nothing good, don't say nothing at all. Mm-hmm. And remember, our actions on the outside are what? They're the response to a thought on the inside.
Right.
So if we're taking an action on the outside, if we're saying something to somebody on the outside, then we've already thought it in our mind. And so one of the ways to reverse that is to do it the other way too. So if we think something negative about somebody, but start saying good things about them, that could help you. Sometimes, even if you're saying something and it becomes rote to you, sometimes it's still better to say it because you'll hear it. One of the practices that we have for people who have been have devalued themselves to a point where they really can't, they're really in some depression, is not only putting the Post-it notes on your mirror for in the morning of the I am valued, however, whatever the prescription is, but but then have them read it too. So not only or out loud, read it out loud. So not only do they read it in the morning, but they say it out loud and they hear it. So if you hear it, it helps also. So on this letting go, this season of Lent, it's not about, even though I do it a lot, eating fish only on Friday, okay, giving up meat on Friday. I don't know how many of you still do that, but that's mainly a Catholic tradition. But it's about doing what you think is best for yourself, and by treating everybody else the way you'd like to be treated. A bird can't fly with clipped wings. That's why we have to clip them. If you have a pet bird, you know that. And a plane cannot fly with incorrect center of weight. And I'm kind of disappointed that Jim isn't here today because he's a fellow pilot. And on there's a bunch of envelopes. If you're a pilot, you know that there's a bunch of envelopes when you're flying. And if you've flown, you know what I'm talking about. It's not really envelopes per se. There's it's what they call an envelope when you have to figure your weight and balance and the performance and then a lot of other different areas of the airplane before you even take off. If you're out of balance, believe it or not, if you're out of balance in a plane, you can sit there going on the runway forever. Actually, you'll run out of runway and crash. But whatever. What?
When I went to Connecticut, and it was a long, narrow plane, and they said, please do not get out of your seats and come up front or going back because you will throw us out of balance.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'd have got off that
Twin
plane.
prop. Oh no, anything below the jets are that way. Those twin props are that way. Even though they're very strong airplanes, you still have to be in balance.
It was a jet, but it was narrow and long.
Yeah, I wonder what it was then. It must have. Anyway, we'll talk about that later. So you have to be, and it's the same with us, really, on the balance part. We have to be balanced to be able to have now that doesn't mean balance between good and evil. It means balance between good, better, and best. Because we have to be able to know, because we can't get in a place, we can't be just doing the golden rule and think, and that's great to do that, but then think that we're set for the rest of our life. I mean, that's the same as other religions saying, well, my glory will come when I get to heaven. Well, what's stopping you from being in heaven right now is yourself. So good, better, best is the way to look at things. God wants to let go of any negativity because it prevents you from being all you can be. And when I wrote that earlier this week, it reminded me that, I don't know if you know, but the Army's coming back with their, what was it in the 70s, their 70s slogan, be the best you can be. And getting up, I don't know if you remember that one commercial where all the infantry's out there and they're done and they're starting to eat breakfast and the sergeant shows up and the infantryman says, "Good morning, Sergeant," and kind of smiles because the sergeant's out there around 8 o'clock in the morning and those guys have already done a lot of stuff. So anyway, you have to be there, I guess. So anyway, so you have to let go of all your negativity in whatever way is best for you. Allow your wings to spread fully and fly like the eagle that you are intended to be. So be blessed and be a blessing. Thank you for being here, and I choose a song.